Good afternoon, fans. Welcome to the LB Gym here in Fredericton. I'm Bill Gibson. You're watching coverage of the Ken Gould Invitational Tournament here on Tommies TV on YouTube. Pleased to bring you the action here all weekend long. Our first Tommies action of the 12-game tournament happens now. It's the women versus the Mount St. Vincent University Mystics out of Bedford. Men and the Mystics coming up on the 7 o'clock start right here on YouTube, but get down here to the gym if you can. We are just about set for the starting lineups. First, it will be for the Mystics. Mystics are the defending champions. Went to nationals that were played just across the parking lot here at the fabulous Curry Center on the UNB campus, hosted by STU. STU and the Mystics actually ended up playing in the 7th place game in those nationals. STU was victorious there. And as always seems to happen between these two schools, it seems to be a little extra spice to the rivalry here. I think that's what happens when you get perennially strong teams. Just a little extra notch here, and some of the greatest games that I've seen in this gym in women's basketball have been between these two schools. Think back to a great Vanessa Sophie and Kelsey Crocker duel. Gosh, that's got to be 3 or 4 years ago now. That was an outstanding matchup. And the presentation here at center court, and a jump ball out to take the ceremonial tip is former Tommy Celine Sturkle and Katie Vedito, teammates. Probably see those two take tap again here in about 2 or 3 minutes after the starters and probably O Canada here. Mystics are a relatively young club. Do have some quality veterans back. We just saw one there in Sturkle. Kazadra Smith, who's suddenly in her 3rd year, 5'2" guard out of Auburn Drive High. 10, Lily Newberry out of Yellowknife. 15, Emma Empringham, who was great at the ACAA. Celine Sturkle wears 24, and Victoria Strickland wears 25. I had to make a visit to the PA announcer when I was down there, tell him to slow down just a little bit on introducing the starters. Take a little breath between them. Starters for the Tommies, 5 is Brianna Bartley, 7 is Katie Vedito. 9 is Alyssa Jeffrey, 13 is Paige LeBlanc, and 21 is Charlie Connors. Connors last year, 12.5 points, 7.9 rebounds. 2nd team ACAA, 5th in the ACAA in field goal percentage was Connors. Strong from the free throw line as well. Thought we might have O Canada here. We haven't had it yet. No O Canada, and we're off to go. It will be the veteran crew chief, Dave McGrattan, with the toss between Sturkle and Vedito. Off the hands of Smith. Back for Newberry. Newberry out of Yellowknife. There's Smith. Strickland can shoot it from deep. Newberry into the post for Sturkle. One thing the Tommies might not have is a strong post. However, everyone I talked to, and at least a half dozen people here today, have said, we think the Tommies are the favorite this year, just based on what they have back and the additions. We'll talk about all of that as it goes along. But I've heard that, to say, at least half a dozen times today and in the lead up to this weekend as well. It's turned over. Strickland for Sturkle. Sturkle, a 3-layer scorer, tries a triple. Can't get that to drop. Rebound fought for by Empringham, out off of Connors. Connors had previously been listed in previous years as a post for the Tommies, listed as a wing in the lineup that was at least posted today. Looks like Stu, 2 to shoot. Sturkle is going to have to put one up. No rim. Oh, called a travel first. Going to be inbounded on the side. It's inbounded by Jeffrey out of Sussex. Long pass for Connors, got behind Empringham. Connors to the court. Tied up Empringham and Strickland. And this is going to be Stu ball. The Mystics had possession off the tip. Cross court for Vedito. Nice looking shot. Off the heel for Vedito. Rebound Strickland. Played a minute 15, no score. Smith down low. And passes out. There's a player standing up at the bench. Smith saw that person standing there, thought it was a shooter at the arc. Delivered the ball. Results in a turnover. Bartley can't make that catch. Empringham with control for Strickland. Connors takes it away from Strickland. Connors, tough dribble. And foul called. It's going to be on Strickland, 25. Yes. Strickland's first, team's first here. A minute 48 in. Jeffrey too strong. Rebound Sturkle. For Kazadra Smith. Newberry takes a 3. That's off the rim. Empringham was crashing and ended up going off to that left side where Empringham was crashing from. Tommy's ball, 24 on the shot clock. Inbounded for Connors. Called out a token press from the Mystics. Just a little bit of extra pressure, but didn't come real hard on that. Sturkle forced a run a long way on that one. Going to be a travel called on Bartley. No score, 2:20 in. Sturkle way deep. That one rimmed out, looked good most of the way there. Connors with the tap and catch, then dribbles. LeBlanc, Vedito, LeBlanc. Kazadra Smith. Pressure on LeBlanc. Knocked away, I think, by Sturkle into the hands of Kazadra Smith. Has Newberry on the run, off to Newberry. Little fake on Jeffrey outside Empringham. First points of the contest. Just under 3 minutes in, it's Emma Empringham at Elmsdale and Millwood High. 4.5 points, 4.5 rebounds last year for Empringham. Was a lot better than that in St. John at the ACAs, particularly in that last game. Empringham just outstanding. Seven returnees here for the Mystics, 2 starters. Return, that is Strickland and Sturkle. Kerwin, Piercy, and Marshall. These are the departing starters, if I recall my Mystics from last year correctly. And one here for the Tommies, Peyton Oshipko. Oshipko has checked into the game without me noticing, as has Claudia Steves and Michaela Hansen. And that's a full line change for the Tommies, actually. Marley Holton and Mackenzie Geisbrecht as well. Geisbrecht out of Medicine Hat. Guess if they sub 5, I probably should have saw that. Do have the new glasses on, but clearly wasn't paying attention when that substitution happened. So Shipko, Bayview High School, played for UNB last season. Tommies, 4 starters back, lose Kylie Roy, who really was a lot of the heart and soul of the team. Really sort of their heartbeat, so you wonder who's going to step in to that role. Big leader was Roy. A couple of players who really, unfortunately, due to injuries, didn't get a chance to contribute a whole lot in Caden Scriver and Ella DeLorme. But they had Oshipko from UNB, Charlie Hall, a rookie out of Woodstock. Nora Quinlan transfers in for her 5th year from UKC. And they add Grace Crawford as well to an already pretty deep returning group. Geisbrecht guard Strickland. Shot put up off the glass by Sarah Grucci out of Pouch Cove, Newfoundland. First year at a Holy Trinity High. And Michaela Scott also in for the Mystics, along with Jenna Matheson. Scott wears 12, Matheson 21. And number 7, Alyssa Bryce. Bryce out of Rosse, strong Rosse High School team last year. Nev Pearson, one of the several outstanding players on that team, ended up at, I want to say, Carleton, the U Sport route in Ontario. There's Michaela Scott at FHS, a little strong there. Matheson can't control the rebound. Scott listed as a guard wing, 5'9". And has some fans in the front row on the far side. See number 12 Mystics banner. That's a score. Hansen slow to get up for Stu. And Hansen holding that one leg pretty still, looking for some help to get to the bench is Michaela Hansen. That's the leg that has the knee brace on it. Tommy's trainer's out as well. Hansen knew right away something wasn't quite right there. Let's hope that's just a temporary issue for Hansen. Tommies return their starters to the court. Bartley, LeBlanc, Vedito, Connors, and Jeffrey. That's a knockaway, but Jeffrey still controls ahead for Vedito. Guarded closely by Kaylee Whiffen, number 6, who's in for the Mystics. Bartley too strong. Vedito inside, up and under, draws a foul. I believe this will be on Whiffen. It is on Whiffen. Whiffen out of Portugal Cove, St. Philip's. In Newfoundland. Shout out if you're watching from The Rock. Pleased to have you along, and quite a number of players in this game and this tournament this weekend hailing from Newfoundland. I've been for a brief work trip once to Newfoundland. I've got a little itch to get back over there. quite a number of years ago. And in fact, I can't even find my certificate. Not sure they'll let me back in if I don't have that with me. Now there's a Mystic down on the court. That's Matheson. Tries to shake that one off and get back into play defensively. Tommies 5-on-4. Bartley miss on the long one. Michaela Scott uses the body to block out and collect a rebound. Ahead, Whiffen. Off glass, no good. Outside, Connors. That's going to be picked off. And scoring on the pickoff, Alyssa Bryce. 7-4 Mystics. Low scoring first quarter here. Under 4 minutes to play already. Tommies only got a couple buckets. Connors adds to that, ties it up with the 3. Connors last season often, as I would say, the 21cc engine. Fairleigh Connors wearing number 21, of course. And Connors was going good. Seemed the Tommies were as well. And that was quite a lot of the time, actually. Connors, of course, rewarded with that second team All-Star, rightfully so, in my view. Kelsey Matheson backs in against Vedito and draws a foul. Kelsey Matheson joins sister Jenna Matheson here on the Mystics. Both at a Citadel High School in Halifax. Tabbed as a scorer around the rim is Kelsey Matheson. 6'1" forward. That's length you gotta like. And when you've already got a sister on the team, you have to like that from a recruiting standpoint if you're coached forward. Come play with your sister if you're 6'1". Can score at the rim. Bartley kicks it out of traffic for LeBlanc. LeBlanc, the Rainbow Tommies. First lead at 10-7. Sturkle. Newberry knocked away by Bartley. Here comes Nora Quinlan and Claudia Steves. In for Vedito and Jeffrey. This is a deep Tommies team. Haven't even talked about scratches yet here for Stu. There you see Nora Quinlan, who started games last season for UKC. Coming in as like player 11 here for the Tommies at this point in the season or game. Nora, of course, playing with sister Kathleen here. 2 more players from Newfoundland. There is Quinlan on the score. Veteran. Won a championship a couple years ago with UKC. Never hurts to have that on your roster. That'll have the Newfoundlanders dancing around the Jigs dinner. Claudia Steves with a triple. 13-7 Stu. Oh, nice look inside from Sturkle. And beauty finish from Kelsey Matheson. Nice touch at the rim. As advertised on that one. Bartley looking for the post position. That wasn't touched. That's going to be out of bounds. I'd say not a great entry angle here. Giesbrecht checks back in for Charlie Connors. A couple of subs for the Mystics as well. Looks like Victoria Mumford, number 4, into the game with Victoria Strickland. They join Sturkle, Matheson, and Newberry as the quintet of Mystics on the court. It's a miss that time by Victoria Mumford. But a Belknap, Nova Scotia. First year out of East Hants. Another finish at the rim for Kelsey Matheson. Yeah, go to work. Matheson looking for a steal against Bartley. Good hustle by Matheson to go to the court. Get it to Sturkle. Sturkle, nice bounce pass for Mumford. Mumford, cross court. Sturkle wanted it in the post, didn't get it. It's Strickland, weak side rebound. Too strong, Giesbrecht. Gets out the Windex, wipes the glass with that one. But it's a takeaway again for the Mystics. Sturkle is going to set it up here. Under a minute to go, first quarter. That pass a little too strong for Matheson. That time it was there. That's up a little higher and more towards the basket. Matheson's got a lay in. A good look from Newberry. Just couldn't quite execute on the pass. Tommy's ball, 1:05 to go here in the quarter. Ahead for Steves. He's already hit a three. Travel called. Good defense by Empringham just to stand the ground there. Take the contact from Steves. This is the first ACA matchup for Stu in the preseason. Played UPI and twice last Saturday in Woodstock. They played, I believe it was Presque Isle out of Maine. One of the teams from up Woodstock way, just on the other side of the border. Laura Quinlan to the rim, can't get it to go, rebound Sturkle. Sturkle, great numbers last year, particularly early. Early in the season, I thought she was an MVP candidate. Of course, I believe it was a back injury or something like that midway through that really hampered Sturkle, but with Amanda Piercy out due to an injury suffered here early in the season, Sturkle really carried that Mystics team early, and when Piercy came back, she was just lights out for the Mystics. Gonna miss having Piercy in this league, that's for sure. Quinlan short. Rebound Oshipko. Back again for Quinlan, tries it again for three. That one no good. Rebound taken away by Mumford. Strickland ahead for Sturkle, trying to beat the buzzer. Not enough juice on that one, well short of the rim from Sturkle. And it's going to be 13-11 Stu. Not the prettiest looking offenses. Have to like the defensive intensity in that one. And a pretty quick quarter as well. Mystics got out early. Stu, they went up, I think, by as many as maybe 6 before the Mystics cut into the lead. Might not have been 6. I'm going to take just a quick break, myself a little drink, and I'll be right back with Q2. Loaded up with a little ounce of prevention as well. Had a little lozenge going. 12 games that opened the season. It's been a while since I've had the play-by-play headset on at least. All the way back to June in the Maritime Women's Basketball Association finals that were also across the court at the Curry Center this year. To keep myself a little lubricated here this weekend. Make sure the voice doesn't give out on Sunday or before. Mentioned I had a chance to talk to Coach Forward before the game. He's excited about the group, says they're young, a lot of learning to do, but it'll come and they're absorbing it. Coach Connors was a little elusive. I did talk to Coach Prosser. I'll talk to Fred tomorrow. Know a lot about the Tommies already. Wanted to Talked to Fred a little bit about some of the new additions, get his take on that, but thanks to Coach Prosser and former Tommy as well, Prosser, for helping out. Giesbrecht with the miss, rebound Kazadra Smith. Bolton, Giesbrecht, Quinlan, Oshipko. And Steve for the Tommies to start Q2. Empringham, Sturkle, Smith, Strickland, and Newberry for the Mount. Tough inbound there. Steves comes free, back to Quinlan. Giesbrecht catch inside. Gets it back for Quinlan. Quinlan with a dribble, gets some room. Steves from deep again, off the glass. Rebound, Newberry. Numbers for the Mystics, 3-on-2, Newberry. Strickland from outside loads it up. A little too strong, but it's Empringham with the boards, back for Newberry. Not sure what happened there. Bolton might have got a piece of that, or Newberry just lost the handle, one of the two. Something happened for sure. On the way up for Newberry. Oshipko kicks, Steves. A little too strong off the heel that time for Steves. Ahead for Strickland, has Empringham trailing. And this is going to be a foul on Claudia Steves. Bunch of new players for the Tommies. Oshipko stays with Connors, Vedito, LeBlanc, and Jeffrey. Strickland on the inbound. Pardon me, on the free throw, not the inbound. Second one, a lot of rim, but it drops through for Victoria Strickland. Strickland over 10 points, about 4 rebounds last season. 79, almost 80% free throw shooter. Connors beyond the arc. She can shoot it from there. It's a second for Connors. Good trip to the bucket that time from Empringham. Everything but the finish. Nice finish there from Vedito with the reverse lay-in. There's Empringham. Finishes that time ahead of the pack. Scoring suddenly opening up. Sturkle, a collision with Connors. Both down, they're both back up. Cross-court pass, Strickland. Sturkle inside scores. Sturkle ended up in a bit of a mismatch with LeBlanc. Coach Connors wanted that collision called. It was not. Looked like a 50-50 ball to me from up here. (18-17) Stu, some subs in. I'm just going to reset the mound here for you. 15 is Empringham, 12 is Scott, 22 is Grucci, 25 is Strickland, 7 is Alyssa Bryce, and I think that's all 5. There's Bryce, guarded closely. Strickland, tricky dribble. Nice cut by Michaela Scott. Rejected, 8 to shoot. Scott's got to get out of the key. Michaela, one of the most competitive players at the high school at FHS that I've seen in a while. Does not like to lose and Leaves it all out on the court, does Michaela Scott. Strickland ties it up at 20. Foul that time on Grucci. Sturkle back in for Strickland. Goes forward, a mix of veterans and youth here. Tommies. Jeffrey Oshipko. Connors, Vedito, and LeBlanc. And more than once this season, I'm going to mix up Jeffrey and Oshipko. I have to remember that Jeffrey usually wears the long sleeves. They both have that long hair that covers the number of a similar stature, I'll say, the two players. And the 9 and the 4 look pretty close anyway, so undoubtedly, one of my mixes this year. Sturkle on the offensive board. There's Connors ahead of steam, cross-court pass. Little looper that time, allowed the defense to close in. Jeffrey, that one was short, the mesh moved. I don't think the ball went through it, clearly did not. Jump ball, it's going to be possession Mystics. Bartley, Olton, Giesbrecht in for Stu. Reminder, one more game to come here today. It's the same two schools on the men's side. 7 o'clock action. Here from the Ken Gould. I'm Bill Gibson, pleased to be bringing you this action all weekend long. You know how to reach me in any electronic form. Got my phone right here with me. Feel free to send that along. Happy to hear from you. Timeout on the floor. A little buzz here in the gym. We might see a little more than a little buzz for this next men's game. Expect that intensity will be high in that one as well. Of course, we're 2 weekends away from the season starting. Halloween weekend, I think we get underway in the ACAA. In fact, I've got that with me here. Indeed, it is Halloween weekend, Saturday, November 1st. Mystics are right back here at the Tommies on that Saturday before going down the highway to UNBSJ on the Sunday. Tommies host the Mount and then host UKC Saturday, Sunday, 1st and 2nd of November. Tommies volleyball gets started next weekend. Forget who's in town at that. 1 weekend at a time. I just go 1 week at a time here on Court Sports getting ready. In the early part of the season, always a little bit of extra. They have to get all the rosters updated, a little bit of my research done. You know, I have to have stuff written down because I'm not all that smart when it comes to basketball. I don't have stuff written down to talk about. Might not be a lot said. Sturkle, good hustle. Pick that ball up, find a teammate. Pembringham. Well, the Tommies were looking for a travel there. Officials say Pembringham got rid of it in time. Sturkle finds an open teammate. Off the mark, Bartley wipes the glass for the rebound, over for Oshipko. Olton. No rim from Olton, out of bounds. In For the Mystics, Jenna Matheson, Kelsey Matheson, 21 and 23. Tied at 22. Not a scoring fest by any means here. Travel that time on Jenna Matheson. Ball over to the Tommies. Inbounds for Jeffrey. For Olton, back for Bartley. Bartley, tough as nails, just works so hard. Giesbrecht can't get it to go. Circle down on the court and foul on Bartley. That's going to be only the second team foul on the Tommies this quarter. Tough inbound, good pressure from Stu. Not able to run the end line that time, and Tommies a little extra on the press. But it's taken right back by Jenna Matheson and given right away by Jenna Matheson. A little too hard for Alyssa Bryce. Strickland in for Bryce. Giesbrecht breaks the press for Jeffrey. Soft looking shot, nice rebound inside. Olton was there. Mystics knock it out of play. Speaking of Jeffrey, I don't see grandfather Gale in the gym here this evening. I'm sure he's not here. He very well could be. I didn't check everybody's ticket on the way in. Sure, if he's not here, he's watching along from wherever he is, likely Sussex if he's not here. Double foul here on 24 and I think 11. Yeah, 24 and 11. Giesbrecht and Sturkle each pick up one. I think the first for each. Good call that time by the official. Steves runs in front of that lead pass and picks it off ahead for Jeffrey. Giesbrecht got a little size mismatch inside. Get the ball in there. Back out for Olton. Cans a three. Timeout Mystics on that play. .321 to go here in the second quarter. And down three. Coach Forward didn't like something in that last defensive set. Forward in the Columbia blue sweater. Do like that Mystics color combo with the Columbia blue and the navy blue. Green and the gold is pretty nice too as well for Stu. About 3:20 to go here in the first half in a hotly contested contest. Mystics from the outside, left that one short. Rebound, that is Matheson. Inside again, Sturkle on the offensive glass. Sturkle to the ground again and fouled. Take your pick, Jeffrey Bartley. Gonna be Jeffrey. Connors and LeBlanc in for Giesbrecht and Bartley. Sturkle, 14 points a game, 6.5 rebounds, 2.5 assists, 86% free throw shooter last season for Sturkle. Shot 40 from the field as well. That's a pretty good number. LeBlanc with the triple. Pushes the lead to 4. Chance here for the Tommies to get separation before the half. There's a turnover. Chance here for a score with numbers. LeBlanc spins. Oh, good defense by Matheson. Ahead for Strickland. Well, could have been a real swing there. It was back to the Mystics. 8 to shoot. Oh, Matheson to Matheson! Jenna with the finish from Kelsey. That's Steves again knocking it down from outside. I think Steves can be one of those players for the Tommies, a lot like Kylie Roy, that can bring the intensity to the court every second that she's out there. Not that the other Tommies don't, but I think for sure Steves can. So watching there is Sturkle again knocked to the court in the rebounding action. That ball hit some of the paraphernalia above the court. 5-point Tommy lead, another timeout taken. As mentioned, this will be Tommy ball and a chance to build the lead here late. These are important opportunities for STU to build leads. Should have talked about these earlier, but scratches. Anna McCabe not quite ready to come back from the knee injury for MSVU. Nora Lawrence, a scratch. Claire Engelhut and Bella Hines. For the Tommies, it's Kathleen Quinlan, Regan Kerr, who had a little ankle issue last weekend, and Charlie Hall, along with Grace Crawford, the scratch. Kathleen Quinlan, of course, foot issues at the end of last year, working back. Didn't take warm-up today. Yeah, it was good to see Kathleen back out running around. Didn't get a chance to say hello, but I'm sure I will over the next number of weeks and months at some point. Love the outlook on life from Kathleen, just one of the happy-go-lucky people in the world. Takes things as they come, deals with it. Will bode well, I'm sure, for her future. Travel violation back to the Tommies. Another opportunity to build on the 5-point lead with 1:17 to go in the first half. LeBlanc tries a 3. Too strong. Rebound tipped around, and we're going to have Jeffrey on a rebounding foul. That's going to be the Tommies' 5th. And it's going to send the Mystics to the line for a couple of free ones. It'll be Victoria Mumford Oshipko up off the bench, and this will almost certainly be for Jeffrey, with Jeffrey picking up the second foul. It is for Jeffrey. Make from Mumford. Double make from Mumford. Important free throws there from the rookie. 3.1 possession contest. Steves gets through trouble. It's inside for LeBlanc, picked up by Oshipko outside Connor. She's already got a couple threes. Misses that one. Strickland can't pick it up. And called out of bounds off of the mount. I thought maybe Oshipko, who came flying in from the outside, looked to be laying on the end line when Oshipko touched the ball, but out off the mount first. Referee Dave McGrattan right on top of things. Way better position than I have to see that one. I'm 100 plus feet away, and he's maybe 3 or 4. There are times, though, I think it would be fun to have a whistle up here. Be tough for the coaches to come complain to me. I know that. Might be the only saving grace I might have, because I would do a terrible job compared to the officials that we have in this league. On the shot clock, 54-4 game clock, second quarter. Tommies up 3 on the inbound. Looking for Connors against Empringham. Turnaround mid-range jumper. Not sure that's what I would have expected the Tommies to have drawn up there for a mid-range jumper, but they get the ball back, and it's Connors for LeBlanc. Back around the outside, down low again for Connors. Cross-court pass, LeBlanc, 9 to shoot. No rim that time for LeBlanc, right into the hands of Strickland. 20 seconds left. Big collision there, no call. And the Mystics get the ball back. It's going to be a block call on Connors. I think the Tommies might have been lucky not to get that the first time. It looked like Dave McGrattan wound up to blow the whistle and then changed his mind. Looked like the hands went in the air, ready for that block on the first cross of the half. Well, on Connors first. Back to the line again are the Mystics. And Matheson. She can score inside and can make free throws. That will be a big plus for this Mount St. Vincent University Mystics team. 2 for 2 on that trip. Those things go hand in hand. The score inside, likely to get fouled, and the Mystics work a turnover. 8.3 seconds left. Down by 1, they've got a chance to take the lead here going into halftime. The Tommies will come with pressure. 7 seconds, Strickland gets it over half. Strickland's going to get a great, nice pass for Empringham. Oh, who can't make the lay-in at the buzzer. Empringham, just a little rush there on the righty finish. That's what Empringham will be seeing all night long in terms of looking for the finish. So it's 13-11. Stu after the first, 31-30 after the second. Not setting the world on fire with the scoring, or either team, but competitive game that we're expecting to have here between these clubs. 14 and a half on the game clock. Come on back, and we'll talk about the second half in that 14-minute timeline. See you then. Good evening, fans. Welcome back to the LB Gym. I'm Bill Gibson, be your host here all weekend long for the Ken Gould Invitational Tournament, preseason tournament for women's, for men's ACA teams. Battling it out here, 4 games a day, round robin format. We're on game 3 of day 1. It is the host St. Thomas Tommy women seeing their first action of the weekend against the Mount St. Vincent University Mystics, and the Tommies clinging to a 1-point lead here at half. Could have been one the other way as Emma Empringham had one she'll be seeing in her dreams tonight. That lay-in, and then the end of the, right at the very end of the first half. But we're going to get Mystics ball here, so it's going to give the Mystics an opportunity to take the lead. 31-30 is the score. Been tight all the way through. Seesaw a little bit. Empringham, Newberry, Strickland, Sturkle, and Kazadra Smith. Tommies with a takeaway. Vidito with the score. It's Vidito, Bartley, Jeffrey, LeBlanc, and Connors. Both teams back to their starting 5. Strickland, little board and cord action for a long 2-pointer. Connors swings around now to Bartley. Can't make the triple. Strickland on the rebound out for Newberry. Paige LeBlanc picks that off. Tommies have numbers as a result, and they take it a 3-pointer out of Charlie Connors. LeBlanc in center field picks that one off again. And Kazadra Smith comes up a little lame there. In fact, Smith holding the legs on the far side. Smith doesn't want it. Talking to the official, say, hey, I need some help here. I'm hurt. Official says, kneel down, I can blow the whistle. Michaela Scott in, Mick of the Mount. Sturkle from beyond the arc. Slynn's been relatively quiet scoring-wise in this one. Newberry with the reach-in foul, first foul of the second half. Newberry's first. Some pressure here from the Mystics. Bartley tries a 3. Can't get that one to go. A couple of Mystics there on the rebound, but they can't collect it. Connors, I think, got Empringham right in the chops, taking that one to the rim. And Empringham standing at the far sideline. Down, LeBlanc with the advantage. Mystics get the rebound, though, and now we blow that one down. Yeah, it is Empringham, who was behind the post here for me for a moment. Shipko and Giesbrecht in for Connors and Bartley. And it is Jenna Matheson in for the Mount, who suddenly 2 players in the first 2 minutes here of this quarter out with potential injuries. And a reach in again on the Mount. That's Jenna Matheson. Wrong side of the offensive player that time. It is Matheson. Not what you drew up at halftime if you're marked forward. In the Mystics side, a couple players injured in the first little bit. Changes, I think, what you wanted to do for your approach. There's Michaela Scott with the block out and the rebound. Scott guarded by LeBlanc, ahead for Sturkle. Sturkle, corner kick. Newberry. That one rimmed out. Giesbrecht, big board. Like to see that from Mackenzie Giesbrecht. Really looks a lot more comfortable at this level this season than last, does Giesbrecht. Has size at 5'10" that will be important for the Tommies. Scott can't collect that pass from Sturkle. Tommies go the other way. Oshipko against Scott draws a foul. Bit chilly in the building here this evening. I'm going to have to bring my blankie in tomorrow. Keep myself warm here, snuggle up for another 4 games. It's going to be like this. I know a couple years of this tournament it's been blistering hot, so much so that you can't wait to get out for some fresh air at the end of the night. Bit of an early start to this one too, at 5 o'clock on the Friday for the Tommy women. 4 o'clock tomorrow. 3 o'clock on Sunday for the STU women in this tournament. Rebound Strickland. Strickland can't get that one to drop. Scott on the rebound. Scott back up and in for 2 points. Michaela Scott. 1 point contest. Matheson stepped in front of that one. And earn a blocking foul. Mystics will take that one. That's what you want. You want that player to step in, stop that drive to the bucket. Matheson, big contact, and now Matheson down on the court. This could be the 3rd Mystic. Coach forward saying, hey, what about that rip through with the elbow on that drive? Officials are going to talk about it. Can't see them changing the call. Matheson is back up, and Matheson will come out for Matheson. Gonna out Kelsey in. Tipped out by Newberry. So in the first 4 minutes, that's 3 Mystics leaving the game with what hopefully are just temporary injury issues. Cassandra Smith, looked like maybe a cramp or something in the lower leg. Emma Empringham got hit in the chops on a drive. And in that one, it was Matheson with hard contact from another driving Tommy. Sturkle to the line. Giesbrecht picks up that foul. Giesbrecht's second. Sturkle good on the first, ties us at 37. Did we say off the top these teams often play highly competitive and close basketball? Now it's the Mystics in front by 138-37. Tommies with the ball, a chance to swing it the other way. Jeffrey with the catch for Olton. Olton in underneath, can't get it to go. Kelsey Matheson, big rebound. Really like what I've seen from Kelsey Matheson here through 2.5 quarters of play. Michaela Scott tries a triple. Too strong, rebound is for Nora Quinlan. Quinlan, Claudia Steves, Marley Olton, Peyton Oshipko, and Mackenzie Giesbrecht. Here comes Alyssa Jeffrey in for Claudia Steves. Olton and Scott, you can bet they've had some matchups at the high school level. A couple years ago at least. Marley Olton out of Woodstock High School. Sturkle off the front rim, rebound. Kelsey Matheson is down with it. Jump ball called, possession, Tommies. Kayla Scott causes the turnover and gets it to go. 40-37 Mystics. Oshipko pivots through trouble. Guarded closely by Alyssa Bryce. I believe that's Giesbrecht scoring that one inside. Looking down at my paper momentarily. Sturkle, tough catch. Matheson looks for the pass to Sturkle inside. And again, Sturkle knocked to the floor, helped up by one former teammate in Jeffrey. Shipko, not a former teammate. Need a little more shot clock knowledge that time. There was a countdown happening from the bench. And not quite aware. Kayla Scott out, Kaylee Whiffen in. Shot is up and through for the Tommies. That's Grace Crawford. I actually thought Crawford was potentially a scratch in this one based on the quick update I got before the game. But there is Crawford out of Belleville, Ontario, and Nicholson Catholic Collegiate scoring to put the Tommies back in front. Apologies to Grace for my misunderstanding. Connors up off the bench. Giesbrecht out. And here comes Emma Emperingham back in for Celine Sturkle. Chicklets must all be in the right place if Emperingham is back in. That's the 5th team foul on the Mystics this quarter. It's going to send Jeffrey to the line. Jeffrey, a usually very reliable free throw shooter. 73% last season, second by average in the ACAA. Cans them both that time. And it's the Tommies +3 with 3-3-3 to go here in Q3. Five threes would be a pretty good poker hand, wouldn't it? The block's going to send Emperingham to the line. Miss on the first for Emma Embringham. And the second as well. But it's Kelsey Matheson with the offensive board. Can't get that one to go, and it's the Tommies clearing the glass. That's a hit for Connors. 3-point shot out of the corner. It's Nora Quinlan, the veteran, calmly knocking that down. Tommies lead up to 6. Mystics really need a score here this trip. In danger of the Tommies pulling away a little bit. And it's the Tommies with a takeaway. That's Crawford. Little family history with Crawford and the school here as well. And there's Quinlan again. The silent assassin off the bench knocks down a couple triples for Nora Quinlan. Probably said it already in the first half, but I love that addition for STU. Veteran presence who will accept a role here with the Tommies, can provide scoring, could fill in at multiple positions, including has been a starter in this league multiple games. Saw the UKC program earlier. That's where Nora was the last few seasons. Big turnover there. They lost to UNBSJ on the women's side. UNBSJ men picked up a win over Mount A earlier. Tommies get UNBSJ tomorrow, women and men. 4 and 6. There's Embringham with the cut on the baseline and the score. That's the Tommies lead from 9 to 7. Important 2 minutes, 12 seconds here in the outcome of this one. Those 2 threes by Quinlan really stretched a one-possession game up to multiple. A breathing room from the Tommies that they haven't had. And there is Connors bouncing one in from inside. Put the lead back up to 9. Matheson looking inside for Grucci. I think it was there initially, particularly if Grucci had kept going to the bucket. Strickland, Newberry, Sturkle, Jenna Matheson in. Emma Embringham stays. Coach forward back to the starters here. There's Sturkle with the catch for Embringham. Newberry, tough catch, 7 to shoot. Newberry needs help. Oh, we got help from Oshipko. Newberry's going to have to throw one up. Just didn't get anybody curling around to help. Big defense there from STU. They lead by 9, can make it double digits here going in to just about the last minute of the quarter. Crawford to the corner, Oshipko back for Crawford. Inside for Connors. Nice delivery by Grace Crawford. Father Eric, former Tommy hockey player, 92 to 97. That's back in my era of university. Remember Eric sitting up for STU. I'm a UNB grad myself, so saw a number of the battles of the hill there. Lead all the way up to 12 all of a sudden. Makes from Crawford. Newberry. Sturkle inside again, down. Matheson can't make it. Connors on the board, bothered by Strickland. Strickland picks up the foul on the hack of the Connors pass attempt. Okay, and this was a tight contest until back-to-back three-pointers from Nora Quinlan. Pushed a three-point lead to 9. The Tommies have packed on more since then. It's a 13-point lead as Connors shoots again. Injuries for the Mystics this quarter. It's had some key players out. We haven't seen Kazadra Smith back in since Smith went out. Empringham is back in. And Jenna Matheson is back in as well. That was the other Mystic that took hard contact, went to the bench. Connors, three-pointer, nothing but nylon. Suddenly 16. And that's going to be a foul on Connors. Giesbrecht back in. That's a second on Connors. Strickland fights for the rebound, knocked out of bounds by Oshipko. I think this is a part of the game as well where you see the Tommies' depth playing a role. Almost a 5-second count there. Newberry got a launch away. Quinlan defended. Mystics were looking for contact there on the three-pointer at the buzzer and didn't get it. So it is a 16-point lead. That's a 15-point advantage in this quarter for the Tommies. We were 31-30 at half, 58-42 right now. So that is a 27-12 quarter for STU here in the third. And a lot of them came late with Quinlan knocking down those back-to-back threes with about 3 minutes to go here in the quarter, and the Tommies stepping on the gas from there. Take a short break. Right back here in about a minute with the fourth quarter. Tommies back on the court for Q4. It is the starting five. Hartley, Vidito, Jeffrey, Connors, LeBlanc. It's like the same for the Mystics. Empringham, Strickland, Newberry, Sturkle, and Matheson. Guess it's Matheson in place of. It's going to be a backcourt violation in place of Victoria Strickland. That's just a mental error there from Lily Newberry on the inbounds play. Yeah, you could go either way. You could go to the backcourt, but you can't take off from the front court. Should have started in the backcourt there. Mystics get it back over on the Tommies turnover. Early season, you're going to expect those errors to occur. Worked inside for Emperingham. Nice touch off the glass for Emma Emperingham. A little press here from the Mystics, ahead for Bartley. Benito. Around for Connors for three. That one too strong. Rebound. Tipped a couple times. Going to be out off of the Mystics. Tommy's ball. Benito with a triple. Katie's mom at halftime. The Vanitas usually make the trip over from Prince Edward Island. Out of bounds off of STU, and that will be Mystics ball. Newberry Art Grucci in. Michaela Scott in as well for the Mystics, as is Strickland. Strickland makes a three. 49-61, lead back to 12. As the Mount got a run in them here in Q4. LeBlanc with a miss, rebound Bartley. That one short. Connors puts it up. That one doesn't go. Rebound down on the floor. 3 players down. Jump ball. Grucci's at the bottom of that pack. Looks like we might have a foul call. Foul on Sturkle, her third. First team foul for the Mystics this quarter. Put the Tommies in the bonus relatively early in Q3. Benito off the mark that time. Strickland, dangerous for the long holding it there on the inbound. Has that good mental block though. Looks like the Tommy men are closing the canteen over there. They get ready for their game coming up very soon. They've been manning that all day, taking turns. Jeffrey. Late whistle there from the trail official. Called on Strickland. It's probably the correct call, but it's always tough when it's that trail official making the call that's at least a third of the court of the way from the play, and the other lead official's right on top of it. Just a different angle, you can see different things. That's Jeffrey on the line, knocks in the second.
Shipko in for Jeffrey. Haven't seen Michaela Hansen back for STU since Hansen was helped off the court. Timeout taken here in quarter 4. 14-point game, 63-49. The Tommies can consistently put up 70 plus, which they're on pace for here. They will be tough to beat. They always play tough defense. And with this depth that Coach Connors has, they can keep bringing pressure and rotating players in and out with fresher legs. That often pays dividends. We saw late in that third quarter. I think that was part of what we saw there. Tommies break the huddle. Mystics break the huddle. Steves, Oshipko, Bartley, Benito, Connors, Strickland, Scott, Bryce, wearing number 7. 15 is Emperingham, 24 is Sturkle. Might have a couple times got Bryce and Grucci mixed up in my play-by-play earlier. Apologies if I did do that. Takes a while to get to recognize the players quickly. Another foul on the Mystics. That's 4 already. 7:39 to go here in this one. It's going to go, I think, on Strickland. Not up on the board yet. It says 2 of 12 is the last foul. That's Michaela Scott, second, if that's correct. And we'll go with that correct. We're already back in play. Quinlan, another 3. Well, Quinlan and Giesbrecht have checked in. Shipko, Bartley, and Steves. Bryce can't answer. Sturkle tracks down a rebound. Reverse dribble. Sturkle tries to go back up. Draws a foul. That shot rims out for Celine. Had a lot of chats with Celine during her time as a Tommy, particularly as she was out a year-ish with that knee injury. Player just loves being in the gym is Celine. Education at the Mount, I believe. Head shot short, rebound Giesbrecht. Ahead for Steves. Oshipko for Quinlan. That's going to be 11 for Quinlan here in this half. 3 threes and not 2, at least. Crawford checks back in for Bartley. 6:01 to play. The Tommies up 18. Steve's looking for Oshipko. Going to be a foul on Michaela Scott. It's going to be Michaela's third. Going to send the Tommies to the line. This could be a long 5:55 to go with the Mystics already putting the Tommies in bonus. Turning point in this one, those back-to-back threes from Nora Quinlan. Around 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Pushed a three-point game all the way up to 9. Tommies outscored the Mount by 15 in that third quarter. And the lead's already up to 20 here now in the fourth. Quinlan with the takeaway on Empringham. Why not take another? And fouled by Kelsey Matheson.
Quinlan's going to go to the line to shoot.
Quinlan makes the first last year at UKC. 6.2 points, 2 rebounds, about an assist and a half. Quinlan also coaches out of Holy Heart High. Number of players in this league from Holy Heart. 63% free throw shooter. Good on the first two. So Quinlan, by my unofficial count, 11 and 3, 14 this second half for Quinlan. At least. Should have checked to see if we had live stats going for this one. Bit late for that now. Might have been possible. Empringham to the bucket for 2. 21-point lead for the Tommies. Steves with the kick out for Crawford. Quinlan. Steves. Giesbrecht toes one up. Nice looking release there from Giesbrecht. Giesbrecht looks way, way, way more comfortable here in year 2 with Stu. Matheson rips a rebound, picks a foul up on Giesbrecht. I think that will be 3. Now that's 4 on McKenzie. 4:41 to go. Victoria Mumford, number 4, back in. Shot clock reset to 24, 4:41 to go. Inbounded for Whiffen. Well, we're going to be late for the men's game, scheduled for a 7 o'clock start, already 22. We were well on track through the first couple games, but this game a lot of fouls, a lot of whistles, a lot of free throws, slows it down, and some injuries as well. That first men's game was ultra fast. Knocked around and ends up in the hands of Marley Olton. Rocking the green kicks this year is Olton. Matheson strong take, draws the foul. It's going to be a foul on Grace Crawford, 2-2. Is the signal from the official. And there's Grucci, the opposing 2-2. On a chat with Coach Crawford. Free throw is good for Kelsey Matheson. Looks like the Mystics have a good recruit here in Matheson. Ahead for Crawford, who's looked good for the Tommies. Outside Quinlan. Rebound Michaela Scott. Quinlan steps in and gets a blocking foul for the effort. Quinlan's first foul. Michaela Scott. Good on the first one. See Michaela's mom Kate on the far sideline in the Mystics hoodie. Quinlan another score. It's been the Quinlan show here in half number 2. Pass a little too much for Giesbrecht, and it is timeout Mystics. Down 20, 3:10 to go. Early season, of course, tournament. This is more teachable moment. And no better time than in the moment to do the teaching. Didn't expect either of the coaches to leave too many timeouts on the table. They usually don't. It's like the Tommies Canteen opening back up on the far side. A temporary shutdown without staffing, I guess. Tommies send the same 5 out here with 3:10 to go in the fourth quarter. 20-point lead, and they put 77 on the board. Boy, not very many times last season they put up 77. And the fact that, if my memory's correct, there's probably a couple games you could add together and not get 77 for Stu last season. Games are often right around the 50-point mark. Some right around the 40-point mark. Some pressure from this young group of Mystics. Giesbrecht underneath, calmly catches and scores. Yeah, super impressed with the growth of Giesbrecht here. Noticed that as well when I watched online the games against, I'm going to say it was Presque Isle, I don't remember exactly which main team it was last Saturday. But Giesbrecht looked much more confident in that one, and a steal there, and we'll go to the line to shoot a couple more. Bonus all around here, 2:34 to go. Saraguchi out. I think that was Whiffen that came in. Mumford, Whiffen, Bryce, Kelsey Matheson, and Michaela Scott. Scott out for Bryce. Matheson fights with Olton for the board. Taken away by Claudia Steves. Ahead for Grace Crawford. Brecht again for two. Kelsey Matheson, another score. Knocked out of bounds. 1:43 to play. Michaela Scott with a steal. Scott finds the way to the rim. Nice finish there, Michaela Scott. Crawford. Blocked by Matheson. Mumford. Little tricky dribble. Bryce around to the corner. Three-pointer made by Whiffen. 82-64. I think the initial contact was fine, and the secondary reach in there, I think, is what got the foul call. Going to send Giesbrecht to the line. It's going to be the fifth foul on Michaela Scott. Nice finish, and ends up with the DQ. Not the ice cream treat. Unless maybe it's the banana split. Sometimes I'm not even funny to myself. 83-64. Left a minute to play in this one. Tommies well in command after they broke it open in the third quarter. Player of the game for me here is Nora Quinlan, without a doubt. Nice finish by Emperingham inside. Nice passing from the Mystics. They're going to keep some pressure on here. Just the style of play that they want to play and get used to playing. So they have no illusion that they're coming back to win at this point. Quinlan with the catch. Crawford, Olton. I think Giesbrecht's had a great game as well. Shot clock violation. Not going to say that game clock ran for about 3 or 4 seconds after the shot clock went off, so I don't want us to put that time back on, but it did. Stopped, of course, on the whistle. That's the correct play from the scorer's table. Giesbrecht with a board. Put back, no good. Final here is 83-66. Tommies broke it open in the third and just pulled away from there. Big kudos to Nora Quinlan, 5th year in the league, first with the Tommies. Major impact off the bench in the second half, particularly late in that third quarter. Powers the Tommies to victory. Final game of the day coming up. It's the Mystic men, the Tommy men. It's going to be about 20 to 25 minutes from now. So 10 to quarter after 7, scheduled for 7, where behind by at least 10 minutes here. Let's see what they put up on the clock for that, so then I can tell you before we break. Haven't put anything up there yet. We'll just break, because I'd like a break. Come on back. 20 minutes or so, we'll have men's action, Mystics and Tommies.